Hi, everybody. I've just been doing some thinking recently because, as you guys know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, right? So, I guess what I really wanted to talk about is this kind of like cheap way out thing. Now, I was watching, I think it's, Focus Trip. I don't really watch a whole bunch of him. I don't find his content particularly exciting, but he's a Catholic guy, I guess he says. Seems to be sort of an adjacent to this Christian white nationalist thing. Or, Christian identity thing. I was watching his video about that shooter, the guy who shot up that church, right? And there are people apparently saying like this could be a false flag type of thing, which I want you guys to understand. Like, people got killed, right? Like, children got killed. So it's like when you call something like that a false flag, that's not, I don't know, it's more like a ritual or something. But here we are, week later, and Donald Trump is saying he wants to make it where, this is just what I'm finding through the news. I haven't looked into this shit. I could honestly give a shit less because, from my point of view, these people are just all talk. Everything is just to get a reaction, And what a genius move. I mean, think about it. You got all these. If you're trying to incite violence, just among, normal people, what would be normal people. I mean, I've checked out these SRA groups and stuff. I check in on their friggin' thingy every once in a while just to see what the fuck they're talking about, I mean, it's public, so, what better, like, vindication for these people, right? That they're actually trying to disarm us. Oh my God. I've just been thinking about this whole, like, easy way out thing, right? Because you kind of look at what the offer always is, right? It's like organizing, getting a community together. It's kind of, it's weird. It's kind of troubling, I guess, because it's like this Focus Trip thingy came up because he's just talking about, about this and that. They hate Christians and it's demonic. It is demonic. I mean, that guy literally had like drawings of him in the mirror, and then he's like a djinn, got like horns and shit. It's very weird that that also, like, if you think about it, that shooting, it's been a couple times now, right, that you have a gender confused person who goes and shoots up something church related, or it's got to be church plus children, right? Like kids at church. I already heard allegations already that this person was in the same Discord groups as some other shooters, similar shooters. And as we all know, I mean, the feds just seem to love Discord for entrapment, honeypots, grooming. So, the easy way out for the Christian identity people is clearly some kind of organizing, or it could be like a political movement or whatever, but it just, again, imagine how vindicated these people feel knowing that these demon-possessed people who are, you know, frankly pretty gross, look, they're demon-possessed and they're killing our kids and they're coming after our church. I just, like, some people don't seem to fucking get this idea of, like, theater, right? Like, it's just, people have so much faith that they're just, like, not being lied to, I guess. It doesn't really faze people, I guess. You know, another thing I watched that got me thinking was PNW Gorilla. He made this video. He's like, Clown World. Oh, we live in Clown World. But this guy's like, I don't know, sort of Christian or something. I don't know what his fucking deal is. But he did bring up a good point about, you know, like the gaslighting has just been so constant and severe that nothing ever happens because everything's always happening. Okay. I think that's a good point, but it's like, there is no easy way out, basically, is my point. You're just playing into the hands of the enemy, honestly, when you join up with people with, like, acronyms. It's just like there's this appeal to the nationalist, like, fantasy that's so, I mean, apparently it's pretty easy to do. I watched that one guy, he did a video on, well, this guy did several interviews. He's like an ex-deep cover FBI guy, right? And his whole thing is like, I infiltrated the outlaw bikers, I infiltrated the, what was it? Adam Waffen or something. But what really fucking tripped me out about that, I watched another thing about this too. This is why I made this video, is because I'm just, like, thinking about all this shit now. But back in the day, I don't know how I found this group, because I've never been a particularly political person. Up until, like, you know, well, during I went through a phase, basically. But in my past, you know, I've always been apolitical. To me, even as a kid, it all seemed fake. You know? Like, even as a kid, I just knew that, like, there's no such thing as fucking voting. It's all fucking fake. They already know what they're doing. They already have it all written out. Even as a kid. And then I got older, and, you know, I'm into, like, art and religion studies and stuff like that. Yeah, I've always been more into religion than politics, you know what I mean? And that was just out of a personal, you know, searching for the truth type of thing. A lot of us have that. And it was very interesting because I watched that show Ertugrul, right? And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, but the aesthetic of, like, all the Mongolian stuff and the steppe herders and, like, these people on horses, fucking, their bows and their eagle hunts, they're fucking just like, I thought that shit was so cool. I mean, it is pretty cool still. But I was really kind of thinking like, wow, that's pretty badass. Oh, I remember what it was. It wasn't, I didn't watch the Ertugrul show till later. It was some Marco Polo Netflix thing. I just thought it was cool. I just, I used to eat up that kind of slop because I love the fucking costumes. I love the way, like, the combat stuff too. I'm into martial arts. But like the costumes, like the Mongol Empire being this like fucking conglomerate of like the whole Eastern thing, and the way they dress and their fucking yurts and all this, the cities. I thought that shit was so fucking cool. And then I found this group on the internet, and it was called Atomic Comet, I think. And as best as I understand it, there was this, I don't know if they're a clothing company or something, but it was called like Esoterror War Cult. And there was like this big emphasis on like the war cult thing, right? And they liked, you had all kinds of people in this group, and they really liked the aesthetics of like the Tibetan Buddhism stuff, because there's all these fierce deities that look really fucking scary, and they look like jinns, but they had this whole aesthetic going on, and it was all pretty much kind of centered around the same aesthetics that I was into. But I didn't realize that they were like way more political, right? Like I had no idea that it was basically a fascist thing. Like that was actually the first. So I never had been exposed to any like genuine fascism. I met racist people, but just being racist doesn't make you a fascist. I don't care what Reddit says. But the fascist thing, like there's a lot of Yukio Mishima, the Japanese guy who fucking, I don't know, took over a TV station or something. Yukio Mishima was one of the big things in there. Baron Ungern Sternberg was another big one. Who, if you don't know, he's supposed to... this all sounds fucking fake to me, by the way, but he's supposed to be the guy who more or less created the state of Mongolia, because I'm just going to throw this story in there real quick, because it'll kind of frame for you the mindset of these people, I guess. But they're obsessed with this guy. He was a German Russian, like an imperial Russian guy that was German ethnically. And his story is like, he was so crazy, and he just like kept getting kicked out of the army until the war started. Then they like had to have him, and then he ended up in fucking Siberia, and he collected all these tribal peoples and put them in his army, and then he went to Mongolia, and then they're like, we're living under the Chinese, and then they fought the Chinese, and then they established the Bogd Khanate, and then that Dalai Lama at the time was like, I christen you as the reincarnation of the Begtse, the god of war, the scary deity. So you can kind of see like, it's this like white guy, but he's like the first weeb. He's like a Mongol weeb. He wears the fucking thing. He's got the cool clothing and everything, and his story is so insane. Like, literally the official story is that they like finally caught up with this guy, because when they brought all these dudes back, they got machine gunned down, and then they fucking shot him in front of the firing line, and the bullet bounced off and hit one of the dudes in the face. It's a pretty over the top story, actually, but they're into this guy. They're into Yukio Mishima. They're into Siege. There's a lot of Siege stuff there. And Atomwaffen. There's a bunch of Atomwaffen shit in this group. So again, I have no fucking clue about any of this shit. Like, I literally... Like, I'm living out in New Mexico by that time. And I'm just kind of doing my own thing, working, everything else. I think at that time I might have even been homeless, living out of my van with my wife and my 2 cats. But anyway, I find this group. I'm like, oh, cool aesthetics. Like, they post cool looking shit all the time. And it was a pretty diverse group. It was very interesting. But I remember one of the first things that happened to me, right, was because back then, like, I had no idea that how like genuinely anti-Semitic these people were. And I had just kind of mentioned, like, oh, I'm supposed to be Sephardic Jewish. And this guy, I think his name was L.S. Don, gets on there. He's like, "How you guys let a Jew in your group? What the fuck? Like, this is fucked, man. This is stupid. You guys let a Jew in your group." And I was just kind of like asking this guy questions because I didn't know like what his deal was, right? But it turns out this guy. So one of the weird little thingies I found out met these people. Was this whole I don't even know what the fuck you call it, like, because there's O9A people involved with this part, right? But O9A was kind of notorious already. It was like I did know about that because I used to study all these symbols, and there was these websites back in the day that have all these symbols on there, and one of them was the O9A thingy, and I was like, what? That looks crazy. And I was like, well, who are these people? I looked them up, just what you could find. They're neo-Nazi Satanists. I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty whack. So I'm like, oh shit, that's real? Okay. I added this other guy. I want to say his online name was like Travis Bickle. But when because they were both of these guys, they had like all this Hare Krishna shit on their page, and like Hare Krishna with the black sun behind him type thing, right? And they both had that, and so I actually thought they were the same person, because this guy posted something after I added him, the Travis Bickle guy. He had posted something, or it was like maybe a screen cap of a comment, like, oh, Hare Krishna white nationalist, that's hilarious. Which it is. It's hilarious. That's so fucking funny. Really, if you think about it. But this guy, so I was like, and I commented, I was like, LS Don? He was like, no, I know that guy though, but I'm talking about me. It's me. I'm like, okay, whatever. I was friends with this guy on the internet there probably like 3 or 4 years, just as a person I had added. And recently, so I learned that his name was Torin Baitler. I sold him a guitar actually, because one of the little startups I tried doing was just like, I was just basically having these Chinese people clone me. I found the LT. So like, there's ESP, right? They're Japanese guitars. They're really nice, very expensive, great metal guitars. LTD is like their budget division, and they're either made in Korea or China. But either way, I found the guys that make those guitars. I found the factory, and I was like, hey, can you clone me the ESP M1, like just single humbucker, neck through, very basic guitar. And the first prototype of that that I got, it was more like the 80s version. Like, I didn't really care for it. It had a more rounded body, and the hockey puck thingy like was like rounded like a banana, and I just didn't like it. But it was a cool guitar. But anyway, I was like, put it online. I'm like, I'm trying to sell this thing, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll buy it. And I had talked to him a little bit, but I kind of knew what his deal was, but I kind of didn't like give a fuck, because I'm like, whatever, dude. And he's all, so like, I went through all the, I used to be vegetarian. I used to be into some of that similar stuff, like Hindu stuff, basically, even if it wasn't, quite like that. But this guy, I would talk to him a bunch about, I can't even remember what the fuck I talked to him about. it was just so nothing. It was like nothing substantial, basically, as far as I can remember. But this guy, I saw him recently. I just deactivated Facebook again because it's fucking annoying. But just before I did that, I saw this thing where they arrested him, and he was in Ukraine. He was in fucking. This is crazy as fuck to me. I don't know about you guys, but this motherfucker, like, first he joined the Ukrainians, right? He joined Azov Battalion. Oh, that was another one. I did see the Azov Battalion shit. First, how I heard about them was through that group. Somebody posted something about them. And then the Atomwaffen thing too. But anyway, Azov, they painted them as like this, you know, neo-Nazi militia thingy back then. So anyway, this guy joined Azov Battalion. Then he defected, and then he joined the Russians. But it was some like same thing where it's like supposedly white nationalist Russian thingy. Now the protesters are back at it again. So yeah, this guy apparently he got caught up with some kind of child-related charges. They were saying he was a pedophile and all this other shit too, which I don't know. It doesn't surprise me too much. It's just kind of weird. Like, he lost a lot of weight when I saw the picture of him, and what was very bizarre was it said female. Like he told the people that he was female when he got arrested. But it's interesting because this guy, like, he's connected to. He was like one of those Grateful Dead cult guys. Like, literally, like, this whole cult following around the Grateful Dead that had something to do with, like, there's like a white supremacist Grateful Dead fanboy group or some shit. It's really bizarre. But he would tell me about, the acid gangs. Like, there was like people out there selling acid, and he was like, yeah, the rainbow is funny because he was telling me how those guys, his group, they have beef with the rainbow people and all this other with the rainbow gathering stuff, like how they have the evil acid and they steal people's faces and all this stuff. But yeah, it's bizarre because he was telling me about the O9A. That was one of the things I talked to him about. He was telling me about the O9A, and he was like, yeah, those dudes are like super gay. Like, their ritual thingy to like get initiated is like they suck some dude's they suck some dude off, or something. But I just found it fascinating how this one kid is like, he knows all this stuff about all these people, and it's like, what I mean is, like, he's super interested. Like, he just like, there's this kind of drive, for younger men to get involved. I'm a little congested, sorry, but I've had bad allergies for like the last year. I don't know why. I've never had them before, but there's this drive for young men to like get involved and like, all right, we got to build a community. We got to do all this stuff, and it's like, for people on the right, that usually means like seeking out some kind of militia thingy, like the Atomwaffen. Like I said, that was talked about a lot in that group. And that guy, he said he knew there was some important guy, like the guy that wrote Siege or some shit. Like, he knew that guy, and he talked to him, and it's very strange. I'm like, everything about everything. Like, all these things are connected to you somehow. So, probably he's going to end up being an FBI informant because him getting in trouble, and I wouldn't be surprised, but I just found it bizarre that, like, I talked to this guy, like, I kind of knew him. I wouldn't say I knew him, but, I sold him a guitar. He sent me money. I fucking sent him my first prototype guitar. So, yeah, that really tripped me out, but this whole, like, thingy that's going on, it's like, we have, like, all these people trying to start these groups, and it's like oftentimes they have like an acronym name, and it's like always feds. It's like always feds. That's the craziest thing. Is it's like, you know, that video I mentioned. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's the biker guy with the hair slicked back, and he's all like, "I'm a Christian, but I like pagans, and those guys aren't real pagans." Whatever. But that guy, he's talking about how he was infiltrating these groups and stuff, and one of the dudes was named the Militant Buddhist. And that really stood out to me because I'm like, dude, that sounds like one of the people out of this fucking group that I, you know, was following on Facebook. It's just a group, you know, like just a Facebook group. Like they just post a bunch of shit. It seemed to be a pretty broad mixing pot. I mean, that's how I met my first like Muslim friend, the guy that encouraged me to read the Quran or whatever. I don't know what the fuck he was doing in that group, but it's been gone for a long time, as far as I know. They like changed their name to Atomic Archaeofuturism, and they kind of rebranded as more of an accelerationist type of thing, and I just didn't really care because I'm not into the futurism stuff really. I just like the LARPy throat singing memes and stuff, you know. But anyway, the easy way out aspect of this, I think, has to do with this like notion that you can just join some fucking organization and make a difference in the world, and it's really short-sighted. Like, I just want to encourage people to like not get caught up in this shit, because I mean, it's super obvious that like everything is just contrived. It's like these SRA posts where they're like, it's like they're so fucking emboldened by Donald Trump, you know, just talking about banning guns for trainees, which I don't think he can do, and I don't think they would do it even if they could, because that's not the game. The game is just to get people fucking worked up and pissed off. And yeah, this other documentary I'm watching it, I'm like still working through it because it's 2 hours long, but the guy's talking about how the feds would first, right, they would set up these protests on national holidays, or federal holidays, of course. Then they would set up counter protests. They would do both. They would set up the protest, they would set up the counter protest, and then they'd pay themselves more because they're working on a holiday. And it's just like, how fucking worthless are these people, by the way? If you're a Fed watching this, I mean, like, I get it that it's a job, but, like, you are just, like, literally a fucking leech. You're the epitome of a fucking leech. Like, if you're not out there keeping people safe, but you're out there fucking, like, just trying to entrap people and run around and, like create a need for yourself, basically. Like, just anything to keep you relevant, right? You should reconsider your life path, because it's not good karma, I guess you could say. So, that's the main thing I want to tell people is, like, don't fucking take the bait, dude. Like, it's not, there's not just some group you can join. And, like, on top of that, like, you need to keep growing. Because, you know what, I went through a short phase of kind of, like, I never wanted to fucking join any of these stupid groups, but I kind of understood what they were talking about a little. Honestly, like, I've never really, like, been, like, a racist person. If you really want to get into that topic, I mean, that's a whole other video, because there's a lot of shady stuff going on in the world, and yeah, there's typically feds involved. And, you know, I'm calling them feds, but it's like, you might as well just be fucking working for Shaitan directly at that point. Like, you know, my point is just, if you're a young person, you're disillusioned, you're frustrated, you're like PNW Gorilla, like, oh, this is clown world, like none of this shit, it's all fucking just black pill, black pill, black pill. Oh, even though you're Christian, you should be a believer, you should have faith that everything's gonna work out, but you're just super black pilled for some reason. Yeah, just don't take the bait. Keep working on yourself. Keep growing as a person. Don't just fucking seek out, oh, I gotta find a group of like-minded people, and I gotta fucking organize, and we gotta have range days, and we gotta do all this stuff, and like, it's just so short-sighted, dude. Like, I can see why it appeals to people who don't believe in the hereafter, because it's like, oh, well, this is life is all you got, so you gotta fucking, man, just like, take it easy, guys. Don't get sucked into the fucking acronym trap. Don't get sucked into fucking political fucking bullshit, dude. Like, anything political, dude, my advice is just like, just stay away from it, dude. Maybe you're fucking poor and you're mad. Like, you know, I'm poor. I'm not that poor anymore, but I used to be very poor. I was mad, you know, but I didn't go fucking join a socialist group so that I could fucking wage war against capitalism, you know. I was pissed off about the degeneracy in the world. I was pissed off about all this fucking crazy shit, but I didn't go join a fucking, you know, neo-Nazi militia or some shit. Even though I guess I could have reached out to these people and joined Azov Battalion and joined do. It's just not me, but I'm just encouraging people, like, just fucking focus on yourself, man. There's no easy way out. Like, you don't get to just fucking, there's no magic bullet, like, for you to just, you know, instantly, like, have relevance. You know, I think that's what a lot of it's about, is like, oh yeah, I get notoriety for fucking joining this group, and I get to brag about fucking being part of this and that. It's like, it's stupid, dude. Like, just don't fall for the trap. Just thinking also, as a little end note here, but it's kind of funny, like, we actually have seen this happen, like, just in the Quran study groups and stuff, where you get people that they show up and they're just like, they just want to, like, I don't know, incite you to, like, do something stupid, or even if it's just, they're just there and their rhetoric is really violent or whatever. It's like, even if they're not, like, trying to entrap you, even if they're just there being like, yeah, I fucking hate I hate the Sunnis, like, oh, we should, like, bro, it's like, oh, it happens, like, to everybody, like, but it just, it kind of, I guess that's the thing, is like, if you're really a believer, it just doesn't work, because it's like, I'm sure they would fucking love it. I'm sure that the shayateen would just, they would fucking love it if we were just like, oh, we gotta get a bunch of guns, and we gotta fucking wage war on the Sunnis and the Christians and the fucking Jews, and we gotta fucking, like, I'm sure they would fucking love it if we did that. It'd be great for them, but that's just, like, not how believers roll, you know. So just be a believer, like, have faith in your Lord, dude. That's all I can say. Like, I'm not saying, like, oh, you don't need to do anything. Yeah, we're here in the world to, like, do stuff. Like, we're here to interact with the world. Like, we're in the storybook, you know. But, like, the way of, like, making a difference in the world is certainly not in joining up with some kind of militant group, and fucking, it's definitely not in, like, standing around with signs and stupid shit, chanting, fucking, or it's definitely not in, like, showing up with, like, to counter protest those guys. And it goes both ways all the time. I mean, you see it, like, constantly. It's like, You got the left rally and the right guys show up. You got the right rally, left guys show up, and again, it's like, man, it's so easy. Like, what a fucking stupid game to play if you're a Fed, honestly. But I guess why it pisses me off is because it's like, oh, this is like taxpayer funded, like, fucking operations against the very people that you're supposed to be representing, and you're doing it all. Like, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying that there's no good feds out there. There's no feds out there, but like actually keeping people safe. I don't know. I hope I don't know any feds. But that kind of like thing where it's just like, oh, I guess like we all have to just worry about fucking anybody like being an agent and trying to infiltrate us and trying to push us farther right or trying to push us farther left or trying to push us to do this or that so that they have fucking beef on us so that they can fucking take us down. That's so stupid, man. Like, get a fucking life. Yeah, again, just be careful, everybody. You know, the world is full of evil people, and, you know, I do understand, like, wanting to make a difference in the world, but you can make way more difference in the world by, you know, growing as a person and empowering yourself. And, like, the most important, probably, message of all this is, like, hey, maybe you don't know everything. PNW Gorilla, maybe you are missing a big part of the picture. Maybe you're missing a huge piece of the fucking puzzle. And maybe you're feeling distraught and disappointed and fucking blackpilled because you're not seeing it all. Clearly you're not seeing it all. Obviously I don't think Christianity is a viable, just period. I don't even think it's viable, but you know, just maybe you don't know everything. Maybe you need to grow some more. Maybe you should read the Quran. I don't know. Maybe you should take some time to reflect on like what you really want, and you know, don't think that like guns and fucking running around in the mountains and shit are gonna solve your problems, because I honestly like don't think it's gonna be that easy at all. Alright guys, take it easy.